Well, crap. You know, I do some videos where I do reviews. I do some videos where I repair. I do a lot of things where I'm talking about my life. And I don't really pull punches. I kind of tell it like it is. I catch heat for it, and I understand. I may lose sponsors for it one day, but well. So, I have a pet peeve. Some of y'all know I've got a graduate degree in business, so I have a pet peeve with businesses that know there is a problem and do nothing about it. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know I will dog cuss GoPro in a heartbeat, because they've got known overheating issues that they'll just kind of ignore, and they will go through several iterations. I think we're now on GoPro 12, still overheats. Been overheating since the 8. I mean, and they just keep selling them. $400 camera for something that doesn't film for more than 10 minutes while overheating. Well, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, that whole family, that family of automobiles, they're the same way with UConnect. Now, if you don't know UConnect, it is the electronic console that controls your radio, it controls your navigation, it controls all the computer components and everything for your vehicle. So I got a Dodge Ram. Alright, it is 2018 model. Probably nicest truck I've ever owned. And it's been nice, but that UConnect, it spazzes out. My brother-in-law, he has a Dodge. My father-in-law has a Dodge. And my father-in-law's talking about his radio will just cut in and out for no reason. Don't know why. They keep saying, well, it's a UConnect software update. I'm going to show you this. That's supposed to be lit up. That is the console. Now, it is lit. It's on. I can see a little light right there. It's hard to see with this camera. You can tell by lights here that my truck is on, but it's not coming on. They've known about this since at least 2018, and I am still hearing reports of the brand new vehicles still having this. So 20 years, or no, not 20 years, but almost 10 years, sorry, over 10 years now. They have known about this and done nothing. Alright, so there's 2 soft resets. I don't think that they're going to work. About 80% of the time they say if it's solid black it will not work. They say if it's spazzing out it might work. Alright, so what we're going to do first is a soft reset. So what you do is you take your hand and you do your little finger and your thumb and you hold them stiff and press this at the same time. This is your volume and this right here is your tuning. Press those knobs in and you hold it for 15 seconds. If after 15 seconds of holding it like this it doesn't reset, I'll come back and we'll do the next one, which I don't think is going to work. Alright, nothing. Another one right here in the corner you can press and you probably can't see it, but there's a light right there showing up. You're supposed to hold this 15 seconds, so we'll try that. Both of these are supposed to be soft resets that work. The first one I tried, they said if it's going to work 90% of the time, it's going to be that. This one, they say it's about 50-50. So we're going to try this first. I'll be back in about 15 seconds. Surprise, surprise, it did not work. Now, there is a belief that you need to update the system. And to do that, you have to go to UConnect, go to their website. After you go to their website, then you have to have a USB 2 drive, flash drive that's empty. Download the update, because they'll tell you what's the last update for your VIN. Download it on your computer to a USB flash drive. After you do it to the flash drive, then you take the flash drive, take it to this console here. Inside here is connected to that. Put that in, and there's prompts that's supposed to allow it to download, but because that is not coming up, I've got to do something else. Here's the problem. So I've got to find out where the battery is on this thing. So like Jeeps, they actually have a battery in some of the models under the seat, the passenger seat, which is stupid. And not only do they have one battery, they have two batteries. And if you disconnect the wrong battery, it's not going to do anything. So I've got to disconnect the battery that's going to this, make sure that there's no radio, nothing going on. And I've got to let this set. Now, some people say 1 minute, some people say 15 minutes, some people say 30 minutes. I'm thinking that probably a good 30 minutes is what it's going to need. There's some that go so far as say do it for 24 hours. I ain't doing it at 24 hours. But we're going to see if this will work. Most people say that if the soft resets do not work, and you do not have a screen to do an update on the UConnect, that will fix it 90% of the time. I have a sneaking suspicion that's going to fix it. And that's only after talking with several people that they've dealt with this. They're like, yeah, there is another solution, and I'm not going to do it. And that solution is take this whole panel out. Then you start unscrewing stuff. And I'm not doing that. But when you talk to dealerships, they all say you got to either go in there and fix a loose wire. And so they take that out and unscrew and do all that stuff. Well, Or you do an update. And they said most time if you'll just unplug the negative post terminal or negative terminal post connection from the battery, let it set for a while, that fixes it. And then once it comes up, do an update to your UConnect. And they say that will resolve it. They don't know why. Nobody seems to know why. Dealers, auto mechanics, none of them know why. So we're going to try it. See you in a second. Alright, I found the battery, which I wasn't expecting to be that difficult. It seems to be that the battery is more complicated on the Jeeps, which don't surprise me much. I had a Jeep at one time, but they're weird. So what I'm going to try to do, this is a 10 millimeter driver socket, and I'm just going to try to get this off with that 10 millimeter. And then it seems to be that there's a bunch of stuff, but if I can take this off, that this is going to be what really will take everything off, and maybe there's not a secondary battery like the Jeeps. But from what I'm hearing from people, that if you have a Jeep, you gotta look for a secondary battery. So I'm gonna get me a screwdriver and see if I can do something with this. I'll be right back. All you gotta do is take, once it's kind of unscrewed a little bit, use a screwdriver. I know this cheap screwdriver I got will work, and then it should come up real easily from there. So everything is off of this for right now. I'm probably going to clean that little connector up a little bit. Seems like it's dirty. Don't have a problem right now, but I don't want to have a problem. I'll probably put some anti-corrosion stuff on it as well after I clean it up. We're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes. Alright, I'm keeping that little connector separated from terminal, but this right here is a terminal cleaner. It's just some brushes, and then there's a little brush in here. You can take this housing off and get a little, there's a little wire brush there. But I'm just going to stick this on there, turn it around a few times, clean it. I know I said I'm just going to let this sit for 15 minutes, but after thinking about it, I think I'm going to wait 30 minutes just to give it every opportunity. Alright, this right here is NCP2. It's a corrosion preventer for batteries. Just spraying that on here. It's kind of orange colored. So after I got it shined up, now I'm getting it where that won't get corroded up, because lead does like to oxidize, and that will help with that. Something I didn't do is try to make sure that truck is dead. You want it to be dead. Nothing's happening. You want to make sure that that is the only battery, that there is nothing else. So you want it dead as a hammer. Now, I'll be back in about 20-25 minutes. Alrighty, 30 minutes has passed. Time to put this terminal on here, so let's do that. There it is, hand tightened. Now let's see if our little hack worked. Already we got lights on. Cranks up. Nothing. Crap. That ain't working. Alrighty, so this right here is the fuse box. Mine is a 1500 Dodge Ram Laramie. 1500 Dodges. The radio fuse is not in this fuse box. The radio fuse, got my light right there, is right there. So you see, this is the negative battery terminal we just messed with. Then you got this, and then right there, there's a little rubber thing, and that is your fuse. And it's a 20 amp fuse. So for whatever reason, the 1500 Dodge Rams, they don't put it with this fuse box over here and label it as radio fuse. They have to hide it. So I'm going to take that off and see if maybe plugging that in will fix it. Okay, so this isn't a normal automotive fuse, but it's one of those micro ones. I've seen these with some outboard engines, seen them with Chevrolets. I do not have a replacement one of these. It's got some colorations going on here. Everybody says if you take it out, put it back in, that normally fixes it if taking the battery connector out doesn't work. Everybody says dealer is no use. Talking with dealer, I tend to agree. But let's see if this will work. Let's give this a shot. So radio works, fuse, I don't know what the heck's going on. I really hate these fuses, these types of fuses. I've had situations where they will blow, or not blow, but they won't work, but yet they're working. It's weird, it's intermittent. So I'm going to see if putting a new fuse in here will fix the UConnect problem. Let's give it a try. Nothing. So this is what I get. It's just nothing. Absolutely nothing. It'll light up some when I turn it off or I hit the reverse, but there's nothing. So I'm going to contact Dodge, my local dealership, see what they say. I'm also going to look for aftermarket, just see what the difference in cost is, because my God, I don't expect this to be cheap. Okay, so the truck is not doing what it's supposed to. One other option that I can try, and this is going to be one of those things I can't guarantee it's going to work, but we're going to try it, is to look and see if there is a update that my truck for some reason didn't get. I have been told that if you put it in the right port, it'll just go ahead and download, that you don't have to do anything. So I have my micro SD cards that I use for my YouTube channel. I've deleted everything off the cards. There's nothing on there. I have in my PC, I have a USB port. I have an older PC, so I still have a USB port. I have an adapter to read the micro SD cards. So I'm going to see if it'll fit into my truck and try it that way, because they still use USBs, even though everything's going to a USB-C. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you how this works. So, alrighty. So this right here, you go to driveuconnect.com/support/software-update.html. That is where you go, and then you put in your VIN number. So I've got my VIN number on my phone, so I'm going to type that in. I won't show that, and then we'll see if there's an update. Well, it says that my vehicle is up to date, that there's no updates. So we cannot update the system. That is not an option. So I'm going to see what their contact us and ask. They do have a thing where you can do Bluetooth software updates and other questions. They have an access care for stolen programs and registration. Then they have an email. I'm going to send them an email, and then I'm going to report back to you when I get something back. So I wanted to show this. I tried to contact by email Chrysler. They no longer have that ability, so I had to use chat because our customer care thing closes down. And so I was like, okay, whatever, we'll do this. So says, hi, I'm Stella. Thanks for contacting the latest customer care. Da, 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 da. By the way, yes, I am a robot. See what questions you have. I'm going to choose other. See what it says. See what the robot does. If not else, I'll do advocate. So basically, I was telling them that, it's blank. Well, I did. I'm going to type advocate because Stella is not helping. See what happens. Ryle Lester, Chrysler Customer Care. Let's see what Ryle has to say. So you can read the message. Basically, I'm just saying what everything I've done. So let's see what Ryle has to say. Alrighty, so let's see what the form letter says. Okay. Basically, I just let them know that the Ram community knows about this. We've been talking. I've talked with others. The others have went to Dodge dealerships, including one I'm going to, and that they've been absolutely no help. But I guess this is the only option. So that I'll go there. So that is what we'll do. We'll ferret this out and see what happens. And it's not his fault. He's just trying to help people out. And I'm frustrated. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at the situation. Again, I hate businesses that have known issues and will not do anything about it. That is wrong. That is unethical. I have a big issue with that. He just unfortunately works for the person I'm angry with right now. And he has to deal with me. So I'm going to try to be as pleasant as possible. I have to be mindful that I should treat him with as much care and respect as I can because he is trying to assist. And what most people don't know is that I disconnected the battery. And it's been disconnected now for a good hour or so. I'm going to try reconnecting it. It says that there's no connection or no software update issues, so I can't do that. So dealership is going to be my only choice. I really don't want to go dealership. I'm interested what's taking him so long to write what he's got to say. I hope that sounds nice. And then I'm going to cut off. Call that good? And chat. There we go. So it's really not even Chrysler, it's Stellantis. So they're just a customer, no service company that does everything. So they're passing off the customers to a company to basically do simple troubleshooting, then send everybody to a dealer that are like me. So business as usual for American businesses. Alrighty, that's that. Well, we're at the local dealership. This is the Sandy Sansing dealership for Dodge, Chrysler. Easy for me to say, Ram, all that. So we're just a little bit early. They open up at 7 o'clock. We're about to drop this off and see what becomes of this. Well, guys, I am back from the dealership. And man, am I not happy. So they have quoted me, looking at this thing here, quoted $970 to replace the UConnect, what they're calling the radio. It ain't the radio. Radio works fine. But everything goes through the radio. It's the display system. It is not a radio. It's a display system that displays every freaking thing that goes on with this truck. So basically, it is your interface. It's not a radio, it's an interface. You know, it's kind of like us calling a cell phone when it's your calculator, it is your calendar, it is everything else in your world. Imagine if everything you did was connected just to your phone and nothing else. And then your phone screen going out and they said, oh, well, it's the phone. No, it's not the phone, it's everything. So they're saying $970. And that has to be paid, at least the radio part. The radio is $780. And I'm going to show you the part and everything that they're saying that this vehicle calls for. So here you see it, it's radio series, and then it gives that number TM931702245, and gives a part number 68331631AK, and then there's a radio number named Z83163 So I don't know if those are specific to the numbers or, what that is. But, for a Laramie 2018 Ram 1500, that's kind of crazy. After talking with the guy, I think I'm more aggravated at Ram than I have been in a while. I asked him about the new radio. I said, will that fix everything? He said, well, it's a newer model. I'm like, yeah, but the 2022s are going out. And then I think around 2022, 2023, they upgraded to a 12-inch instead of an 8-inch screen. And those, out the gates, they already have recalls on them and have been replacing them left and right. So it's like this whole interface system is messing up all the time. So I'm like, this radio, this 2018, so we're talking what, 2024, we're talking about what, 6 years roughly, more or less? And it's went out. I go to Walmart and buy a freaking microwave or a can opener that has a better expected life than that. And so I was like, how long is this going to be warranted if y'all install it? He said 2 years. So the best I can hope for after paying almost $1,000, $1,000 freaking dollars to use my truck and be able to use my truck because of a known issue Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, Jeep has known about since at least 2012, probably before 2012. 2012 is the earliest that I can see documentation proving that they knew about it. But they probably knew about it before then. So you say since 2012 at least they've known about it and done nothing. And now I'm having to do this. I feel like I can get an aftermarket system a lot cheaper than what they're quoting me. Is it going to have a warranty? No. Do I have to put it in? Yeah. Do I know how to do it? No. Know some people would help me, but you always run the risk of doing that kind of stuff. So right now is when I need your input. What do you think I should do? Have you done this? Did you get an aftermarket, or did you have to have your system replaced and did that fix it? Or did you have to get replaced again after 2 years? Because again, it's only warranted for 2 years. And again, people are buying Ram trucks 2022 and having to turn them in now to get them fixed, having the same problems I'm having because this UConnect is junk. So, what have you done? What would you do? Is it worth it? Do you deal in radios? Is it worth it? Are you a mechanic? Do you suggest it, or do you suggest I go with? But tell me what you would do. Let me know. Give me your thoughts, opinions. I have no ego, so if you think I should just suck it up and pay for it? You are a mechanic, and are you dealing radios? Are you dealing this stuff or whatever? Let me know. Tell me, say, hey, look, I'm a mechanic. I'm a certified mechanic, or I've got this certification, I got that certification. Kind of give me some justification, not just somebody off the street. I'm not asking everybody's opinion just because, but if you know something about this, chime in. I need your help. I'm just saying, kind of quantify where you're, you got, it's just more than me coming up with opinion. Oops, sorry, fell off steering wheel there. But it's not my opinion, just somebody that knows nothing about vehicles. You know, I want to hear somebody knows something about vehicles, knows something about radios. But I'm gonna wrap up this video. My wife and I, we gotta do some research. We gotta do some talking. This is not gonna be an easy, quick fix. I started off doing this video as an easy, quick fix, and that ain't gonna happen. So hopefully you don't have this problem. Nothing else, if you're thinking about buying a vehicle, maybe this will have exposed an issue you didn't know when you was contemplating maybe buying a Dodge or Jeep or Ram or Chrysler, that there's been something hinky going on they've known about for a while and they haven't done anything. That's troubling. Not saying that Ford is any better. I'm not saying any other brand is any better, but something to kind of contemplate though. Well, I hope you found this video informative. If you did, please hit like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It really does help out the channel, and I'll see you again next time.